Hey everybody, welcome back. I hope you guys all had a great week. I had a pretty okay week. We got a nice little snowstorm earlier this week, so it's really cold outside and there's like 3 to 4 inches of snow on the ground, and as you can tell by my sound of my voice and the look on my face that I'm ecstatic. I'm not a really big snow girl. I like watching it fall from the sky. It's very pretty to look at, and then I have to go and drive in it the next morning, and I was not thrilled. I was not happy about that at all. But, you know, it is winter. It was bound to happen eventually, and it did. But it did give me a good reason to quote unquote stay in. Other than just saying, I just want to stay in and read my books. I can say, it's cold. It's too cold to do anything. So I'm just going to stay in my jammies and, just chill with some hot chocolate and read my books. But I did get some good reading done, and I'm pretty proud of it. So thank you, Snowstorm, for giving me an excuse to read my books like I actually needed one. But at least now I have another excuse other than I just don't want to hang out with you. Not really. No, seriously, some people I just want to tell I don't want to hang out with, and I feel bad when I say it sometimes. On with the book review. Yes, I have a book review. I just finished Wicked, The Life and Times of the Wicked Witch of the West by Gregory Maguire. This is the first book in his Wicked Years series. It is followed by A Son of a Witch and Lion Among Men, which I do plan on picking up, so I liked it enough to want to continue the series. But before I get in the actual book review, I need to state some things ahead of time. I will try to do this spoiler-free. Like I said, I don't have editing equipment, so I will try to be spoiler-free as much as I possibly can. 2, I saw the musical before I read this book completely. I emphasize that because I tried reading this book in high school and I couldn't read it. I just couldn't get into it. I don't know why. It wasn't happening. It just like 50 pages in, I'm like, I got nothing. This ain't happening. No, putting it down. So I put it down. Saw the musical. Fell in love with the musical. I love it. It's one of my all-time favorite musicals. It is so beautiful. If you ever get a chance to see it, go see it. Drop the money. Spend the $80, $90 that's on a ticket. Get a good seat. It is something that is worth seeing. It is. I swear on everything I find valuable and holy, this is a musical that you want to see because it's beautiful. The way it's done, the music, it's amazing. So when I fell in love with the musical, I thought about giving the book a second chance, but I didn't. I fell even deeper in love with the musical to the point where I actually sang one of the songs of my high school graduation. For Good is one of the bigger numbers in the musical towards the end, and it's basically Glinda and Elphaba, the Wicked Witch of the West. That's her name, by the way. Elphaba, after L. Frank Baum, the author of Wizard of Oz. Just a little heads up on that one. They're saying goodbye, but they're saying, for good or for worse, I've been changed. I've been changed for the good because I knew you. And that's one of the lines from the songs, and I just thought it was so poetic and so perfect for a high school graduation because, you do. And so I sang it to my classmates along with one of my other fellow classmates, and it was a moment that I will never forget, ever. And so this musical holds a lot of history for me, a lot. And when I read this book finally, completely through, my heart broke a little. I'm not gonna lie to you. I love the musical way more than I will ever love this book. Do I like this book? Was it a good read? Yeah, it was. Gregory Maguire has a way with words that conveys such emotions in people that it's crazy. It is. His use of descriptive terms and the way he flows, the way he told the story, it flowed very, very nicely. But I'm sitting here reading this book wondering, okay, I've seen the musical, which is based off this book, so something about this has to be the same, and nothing was adding up. Nothing. And it was so disheartening. It was so disheartening. I tried and tried and tried, and I was just like, I can't get through this. And then finally I set the book down, was about to give up on it, and I thought, you know what? No, I'm not. I'm gonna give this book a chance. This created one of my favorite musicals. I have to at least do the justice of reading this entire book. I have to. So I buckled down and I started reading it through the mindset of someone who has not seen the show. Once I did that, it went so much smoother. So much smoother. But then I found some gripes that I was just like, what? I don't get why you did that. I keep wanting to say Stephen Maguire. I don't know why. Sorry. Gregory Maguire, his use of words is amazing. The words he chooses to use, the way he tells them are great. But the times he uses his descriptive qualities, like he can pull emotions out of you. I mean, I literally felt at some point in times the way the characters felt. Like I actually felt like I was part of the book, but I didn't feel like I was part in the, I didn't feel like I was accepted in the book, if that makes any sense. And the way I could feel to explain that is there was so much angst and scorn and just kind of a bitterness to the whole tone of the novel that I just felt like I was kind of eavesdropping. And you kind of are when you're reading a novel. You're eavesdropping on these characters' world, this character's life, for most novels. And that's fine. That's fine. But I've never felt like guilty and wrong. Like I should put this down. Like this is none of my business. Like you've seen people fight in a store or get into arguments and you're just like, I'm just gonna walk away. You know, I'm gonna kind of sort of listen, but I'm gonna keep walking. And I felt like doing that because I felt like I was invading a very personal moment for most of the beginning of the novel because there was so much anger and just resentment in some of these characters. I was just like, what is going on? But then it gets a little bit lighter and I'm just like, oh, okay, here we go. And then I start seeing parts of the musical come in. I'm like, okay, all right, I'm comfortable with this. I'm comfortable. I'm good. And then, like, a big moment happens, and there's absolutely no description. None. Zip. It's, this happened. Moving on. What? What are you doing? Like, that was like a major turning point. Why are you downplaying it? It was so shocking. The times in the book where he chose to downplay was crazy. I didn't understand it. I was just like, why are you downplaying this? This is like a major moment. Why are you doing this? And when you read this book, you'll see these moments. You'll be like, you just spent the last 10 pages describing a journey that really doesn't do anything for this novel except emphasize a topic of an attribute of this woman that I already know exists. So why'd you spend 10 pages describing that and literally 2 paragraphs on a death of a main character? What you doing here, dude? Makes no sense to me whatsoever. I have no idea why. So I just kind of was like, the hell is going on with this book? And I kept on reading it, and it happened again and again and again and again, and I'm just like, are you doing this shit on purpose just to piss me off? Because it really feels like you are. First, you make me feel guilty for listening to these people's conversations in their lives, which I don't like that feeling very much at all, by the way. And now you're pissing me off because you're taking those epic moments and downplaying them to absolutely nothing. But you know what? For this novel, I would have done it differently. For as much as that pissed me off, as much as it irritated me, it worked. It worked. It kept me reading. It kept me engaged. It kept me wanting even if it was just engaged because I was angry at the author. It was like, no, I'm gonna prove you wrong. You're gonna give me what I want eventually, you know, blah, 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 all this stuff in my head. And he never did. And, you know, I finally finished the book. I had to force myself to finish this book. The last 15 pages were just, oh my God. It wasn't that they're boring. It wasn't that at all. I had to fight my way through it because I was fighting the entire book. I was exhausted. This book, I've never been so drained reading a book that wasn't a textbook. Ever. In my entire life of reading. And it just drained me. But when I was done, the fucker stuck with me. Excuse my language, but it stuck with me. And that's why he did it. And I just applaud you, dude. Good job. You were able to piss me off, turn a story that I grew up loving, Wizard of Oz, completely on its head, and then take a musical that I thought already did that, and then just like strip it bare. Because if you've seen the musical and then you read this book, you will find out that if you take this book and turn it into an outline with the Roman numerals, like you have your 1 here and then you have your capital A, the big Roman numeral columns, that's the play. That's it. Everything that happens to play was a big Roman numeral in here. By the way, those are the points in time where he downplays everything. If you've not seen the play and you read the book, you won't really understand that reference, but you'll get the idea once you're at the book. You're like, what is going on? The quintessential moment of this book is actually the ending. It's the ending. Now, if you've seen Wizard of Oz, you know what happens. Okay? If you haven't seen Wizard of Oz, this is a spoiler for Wizard of Oz. She dies. Sorry, she dies. She gets water on her and dies. So, you kind of know what happens in this. And it's literally a paragraph. You just killed off the main character, and it's a paragraph. The fuck, dude? What? I just literally went on a life journey with this woman. Life. The book starts before she's even born and ends when she dies. Life journey. Right here. This was a life. I literally just lived this woman's life, and you just done like that. But it was great. It was perfect the way he did it, and this is why. Like I said on my last review that I've been keeping quotes. If I really like a quote from a book, I write it down. This is one of 2 quotes that I picked from this book. Only one of 2. And this is it. And of the witch. In the life of a witch, there is no after. In the ever after of a witch, there is no happily. In the story of a witch, there is no afterward. Of that part that is beyond the life story, beyond the story of the life, there is, alas, or perhaps, thank mercy, no telling. I couldn't have described Wicked Witch of the West better. Because the musical says, no one mourns the wicked. And it was great. I gave it a 3 out of 5 stars on Goodreads for the simple fact that I still prefer the musical over the book. And if I can prefer something, an adaptation from the original, then the original just wasn't strong enough for me. But the musical gave me what I wanted. It gave me that ending that apparently a witch doesn't have. The book gave me the truth. Maybe I'm just in a fairy tale kind of mood, and I like to root for the bad guys every once in a while. So, if you like the musical, you've never read the book, do try to check it out. It is not the easiest of reads. It will cause emotions in you that you didn't think you could really have for characters. It will make you rethink things. It will make you question things that you already thought were concrete. But you know what? It was good enough for me when I continue on the series. And It's the originator of one of my favorite childhood memories that I will always hold dearly for the rest of my life. I will sing the songs of Wicked to my kids if ever I have them. I will take them to see it. So 3 on Goodreads means I liked it. I did like it. I did not love it. It's not the greatest book I've ever read, but I liked it enough to pass it on and tell others to read it. So that's my review, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope I didn't ruin the book for you if you wanted to read it. If you do read it, please put it down in the comments below. Tell me what you think of it, or find me on Goodreads and let me know there. I will be back with you next week for my last haul, my official January book haul. You will not see all those big books that I saw last time. You'll see a few more books that I bought. And I will see you guys then. I hope you guys have a good week. Stay safe. If you live in the area where there's winter, and if you're on the East Coast, keep warm. I heard there's a hella storm coming your guys' way. So keep safe. If you're on the West Coast, I hope it's warm over there, baby, because I'm totally jealous. I'm gelling over here. So, love you guys.